Imagine you are driving a Formula One race car. The engine is screaming. You are moving at 200 miles per hour. This car is your leverage. It is the code, the capital, and the media we talked about in part 1. But what if you are blindfolded? What if you are steering 10 degrees to the left? When the track turns right, the speed doesn't save you. The speed kills you. Welcome back to part 2 of our deep dive into the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. I am Victor. In part 1, we built the engine. We talked about how to create wealth using leverage. But today, we are talking about the steering wheel. We are talking about judgment. Most of us were raised with a simple instruction: work hard, keep your head down, grind. And in an industrial economy, that advice worked. If you were laying bricks, the person who laid 10% more bricks got paid 10% more. The input matched the output. It was linear. But we do not live in an industrial economy anymore. We live in an age of infinite leverage. In this era, the correlation between hard work and wealth has broken completely. A software engineer can work 10 hours and create $1 billion of value because their code touches millions of lives. A day trader can work 10 seconds, make one wrong decision, and lose a fortune. Naval Ravikant says, "In an age of leverage, one correct decision can win everything. Hard work is overrated. Judgment is underrated." This is a terrifying concept for many people. It means your effort matters less than your direction. If you run west looking for the sunrise, it does not matter how fast you run. You are wrong. So today, we are going to learn how to find the sunrise. We are going to learn how to think clearly. We are going to install the judgment protocol. Let's define our terms. What exactly is judgment? It sounds abstract. Is it intelligence? Is it IQ? Not exactly. There are plenty of high IQ people who are terrible investors. They get emotional, they follow the herd, they panic. Naval defines judgment as wisdom without age. It is the ability to know the long-term consequences of your actions right now. It is the ability to fast forward the simulation in your head and see the cliff edge before you drive off it. Think about the smartest people you know. Do they all have money? Are they all happy? Probably not. We all know brilliant people who are constantly in chaos. They date the wrong people, they take the wrong jobs, they buy high and sell low. They have high intelligence, but low judgment. I want to share a personal story about judgment versus hard work to illustrate this. During the crypto bull run of 2021, the market was euphoric. Everyone was making money. My phone was blowing up. Friends who knew nothing about finance were telling me to buy obscure tokens. They were trading every hour. They were glued to the screens. The hard work approach would have been to join them, to trade every day, to wake up at 4 a.m., to chase every pump, to maximize the activity, to feel busy. But my system, based on historical cycles, told me we were in a bubble. The incentives were misaligned, the leverage was too high. My judgment told me to do something that felt incredibly lazy. It told me to sell and then do nothing, to sit on my hands, to go for a walk, to read a book. For 6 months, I did absolutely nothing in the market. I watched people get rich on paper while I held boring cash. I felt stupid. I felt unproductive. My ego wanted to jump in. But when the crash came, and it always comes, that single decision, the decision to stop, saved me more money than 10 years of consulting work could have earned me. That is the power of judgment. It is knowing when to run and when to stand still. It is knowing that doing nothing is often the most profitable action you can take. So, How do we build this skill? How do we get wisdom without waiting until we are 80 years old? We need better mental models. A mental model is a tool for your brain. It is a framework that helps you process reality. If you only have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. If you only understand one model, like hard work, you will try to work hard your way out of a bad investment. And you will just dig the hole deeper. Let's open Naval's toolbox and look at the 4 most powerful mental models for wealth. The first model is inversion. This comes from the great mathematician Carl Jacobi. He said, "Invert, always invert." Most people try to be smart. They try to find the perfect investment. They try to make the brilliant strategic move. They ask, "How do I succeed?" Inversion suggests you do the opposite. Don't try to be smart, just try not to be stupid. Instead of asking, "How do I make money?" ask yourself, "How do I lose money?" I use this every day. When I look at a deal, I don't look at the upside first. I look at the catastrophe scenarios. How could this go to zero? Is there leverage that can wipe me out? Is the founder a fraud? What if the economy crashes tomorrow? If you can eliminate the scenarios where you die, survival is the only option left. And if you survive long enough in the wealth game, compounding takes over and you usually win. Naval says, "I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to be the person who makes the fewest unforced errors." The amateur plays to win, the professional plays not to lose. Be the professional. The second model is first principles thinking. This is how Elon Musk thinks. This is how Naval thinks. Most of us think by analogy. We say, "I will do this because everyone else is doing it. I will buy this stock because my neighbor bought it. I will run my business this way because that is how it's always been done." That is reasoning by analogy. It is copying, it is safe, but it produces average results. First principles thinking is breaking a problem down to the fundamental truths, the atomic level, and building up from there. Let's apply this to retirement. Analogy thinking says, retirement is when you hit 65 years old and get a pension. First principles thinking asks, what is retirement really? It is the state where your passive income exceeds your burn rate. Okay, can I achieve that at 30? Yes. Do I need a pension? No, I need assets. Do I need to stop working? No, I just need to stop doing work I hate. When you think from first principles, you see shortcuts that other people miss. You see the code of reality, not the social convention. The third model, and perhaps the most important for investors, is economics, specifically incentives. Show me the incentive, and I will show you the outcome. You can predict human behavior with frightening accuracy if you understand their incentives. Never ask a barber if you need a haircut. Never ask a banker if you need a loan. Never ask a real estate agent if it's a good time to buy. Their incentive is to sell. Your incentive is to buy value. These are not aligned. This connects directly to the concept of skin in the game. Always ask us, does this person lose money if I lose money? If the answer is no, run away. If a financial advisor recommends a stock, do they own it? If a CEO talks about the future of the company, are they buying shares or selling them? Naval implies that you must learn to manage your own capital. You cannot outsource your judgment to someone with different incentives. If you are the principal, you cannot trust an agent blindly. You have to learn the language of the game. The fourth model, which I added because it is critical for Victor's system, is the circle of competence. You do not need to be an expert on everything. You just need to be an expert on something and stay strictly within that circle. Warren Buffett does not invest in tech stocks he doesn't understand. He stays in his circle. Many people lose money because they make money in one area, like their business, and then gamble it away in another area, like crypto or startups, where they have zero judgment. Knowing what you do not know is more useful than being brilliant. If you are playing a game where the other person knows the rules better than you are the sucker. Define your circle, stay inside it, dominate it. Now, you might be thinking, Victor, this sounds great, but how do I actually learn these models? Where do I go to school for this? You don't. The bad news is, schools are not designed to teach judgment. They are designed to create obedient workers. They teach you memorization, which is useless in the age of Google. The good news is, you can learn it yourself. But you have to change the way you consume information. You need an information diet. Naval has a rule: read what you love until you love to read. Most people force themselves to read boring, smart books because they think they should, and so they quit. I started by reading science fiction. I read about spaceships and empires. That taught me imagination. Then I read history, then economics. The goal is to build a latticework of mental models. You want to understand the basics of everything. You don't need to be a mathematician, but you need to understand probability so you don't buy lottery tickets. You don't need to be a biologist, but you need to understand evolution so you understand competition. You don't need to be a psychologist, but you need to understand cognitive biases so you don't fool yourself. And equally important to what you read is what you ignore. To have clear judgment, you must empty your mind of junk. Stop watching the news. The news is designed to make you anxious and angry, not informed. It is sugar for the brain. Stop engaging in political arguments on social media. That is low-status signaling. It clouds your judgment with emotion. If you want to be wealthy, you need a calm mind. A calm mind sees the board clearly. An anxious mind makes mistakes. When you have these basics, you can navigate any situation. Naval calls this being a rational Buddhist. You see the world clearly, rational. But you are at peace with it, Buddhist. You detach your ego from your decisions. This is the hardest part. The ego. Most people want to be right more than they want to make money. I see this in the comment section all the time. People arguing about which crypto coin is better. They are not looking for truth. They are defending their identity. I am a Tesla guy. I am a Bitcoin guy. Naval says, to be honest, speak without identity. The moment you label yourself, you become blind. If you identify as a value investor, you will miss the opportunities in growth stocks because your ego says, I don't buy expensive things. If you identify as a crypto guy, you will refuse to see the risks in the market because your ego says crypto is the future. Keep your identity small. Keep your mind flexible. When the facts change your mind. That is not weakness. That is judgment. Let's talk about the ultimate application of judgment. It is the art of saying no. If you want to make great decisions, you need time to think. If your calendar is full of meetings, coffee chats, and busy work, you have no time to think. You are reacting, not acting. Naval has a famous heuristic. If it is not a hell yeah, it is a no. When you're just starting out, you have to say yes to everything to get opportunities. But once you have some leverage, you must switch. You must say no to almost everything. Saying no buys you time. Time buys you judgment. Judgment buys you wealth. If you are busy, you are poor in time. And if you are poor in time, you will make poor decisions. Imagine a sniper versus a machine gunner. The machine gunner sprays thousands of bullets, making a lot of noise, sweating, working hard. They are busy. The sniper waits. One shot, target hit. In the wealth game, we want to be the sniper. I spend 90% of my time reading, thinking, and simply living my life. I spend 10% of my time executing. But because I spent that 90% sharpening my judgment, My execution is effective. If you find yourself constantly busy, constantly putting out fires, constantly stressed, that is not a badge of honor. That is a symptom of poor judgment. You are making mistakes and then working hard to fix them. Stop, think. Naval says, direction matters more than speed. If you are running east looking for a sunset, it doesn't matter how fast you run. Take an hour today to just sit in a room and think. No phone, no podcast, just think. Are you running in the right direction? Is the business you are building scalable? Is the city you live in giving you opportunities? Are the friends you spend time with lifting you up or dragging you down? 1 hour of clarity is worth a lifetime of hard work in the wrong direction. And this leads us to the final point of today. The goal of all this, the goal of wealth, the goal of judgment, is not to buy a yacht, it is to buy freedom. Naval redefines retirement. He says, retirement is when you stop sacrificing today for an imaginary tomorrow. You can retire when you have enough passive income, wealth. OR, when you reduce your desires to zero, monk mode. We are aiming for the first one. We want the passive income so we can choose how to spend our day. But there is a trap, the desire trap. You make $1 million, so you buy a bigger house. Now you need $2 million to maintain it. You are not free, you are just a richer slave. To truly win, you need one more skill, a skill even rarer than wealth, a skill even rarer than judgment. You need the skill of happiness. Most people think happiness is something that happens to you, or something you achieve when you get the promotion. Naval argues that happiness is a skill, like fitness, like nutrition. You can train it. And if you don't train it, then all the money in the world will just make you a miserable rich person. And trust me, I have met many of them. There is nothing sadder than a man who has everything and enjoys nothing. In part 3, the final part of this series, we are going to learn that skill. We are going to talk about how to be happy, how to save yourself from envy, and how to find peace in a chaotic world. Because if you get rich, but you lose your mind, you have lost the game. For today, here is your assignment. Pick one decision you need to make this week. It could be a job offer, an investment, or a partnership. Apply the models. Invert it. If I wanted to guarantee failure, what would I do here? Am I doing that? First principles. Ignore what your friends are doing. What is the raw truth of this deal? Incentives. Who wins if I say yes? Do they have skin in the game? And finally, check your circle of competence. Do you actually understand this, or are you gambling? Slow down. Don't just work harder on the decision. Think deeper on it. This is Victor. Master your judgment, and the wealth will follow. I will see you in part 3.